How we doing, guys? Welcome to Beer Abs Nutrition. So, do you like beer and do you also want abs? Well, if you want to know how we can bring those two conflicting worlds together, then keep watching, guys. So the first place to start is beer. Now, I love it. Beer makes me a better husband, a better dad, and an all-round better person. The problem is, though, that beer just ain't great for my gut. And it's not just the calories either, it's the effect of the beer. You see, alcohol is a toxin, which is a genuine example where the body actually needs to detoxify. But that doesn't mean we have to go on a green liquid diet. The liver is pretty smart at removing alcohol already. Unfortunately, it's got to put a few things on hold whilst it does that. Most notably, breaking down fat. And that's kind of a big deal if you want to lose fat. So, if I have a heavy session, then a substantial amount of time is going to be dedicated to my body recovering from that session. And that means time where it can't break down fat. So, here's the deal. No binge drinking, not caning it, but I can have a couple of beers if I want, each day if I want them. And if I don't want them, I don't have to. So, aside from beer, let's take a look at all the other important aspects of my nutrition. Oh, one thing I should mention is that I'll probably be having quite low calorie beers because that lets me drink more beer. Just a tip. Right, so the most important thing is calories because you can't lose weight unless you reduce your calories. So I started with a really rough estimate of how many calories I would need to lose weight. I was pretty lazy for this. I just used an online calculator and I put in my age, my weight and my activity level. So that gave me a goal of 3,000 calories per day for fat loss. And I've decided to allocate about 10% of the calories to anything I want, which includes beer. So 3,000 calories a day with 10% leniency gives me 300 calories to go wild. That's if I want to. Some days I might not feel like it and I could bank up a few days and go a little bit more wild on the weekend, so long as I don't take it too extreme. So on a weekly basis, I'll be reviewing my weight, my measurements and taking a good look in the mirror and deciding if I need to adjust my calories. Chances are at some point I might need to bring them down a little bit. But for now, the most I can eat whilst losing weight is going to be of paramount importance to my mental well-being. In other words, I want to eat as much as I can whilst losing weight in order to stay happy. So I'll be using MyFitnessPal to count them, and as a rule of thumb, I aim to be slightly under most days to allow room for a bit of margin of error. And quite often, I probably won't input if I can see that the meal I'm eating is a bit too complex. You know, if somebody's made me a meal and I've not really got an idea of what's in it. As long as I know what I've eaten the rest of the day and I've got a good idea of my calories, then I'll probably just won't put it in and I'll know roughly where I am anyway. So let's take a little look at some of the foods that I've been eating. So I've had, you look here, we've got the salmon and eggs. I've not took pictures of everything, just chicken, rice. These are things I've pretty much knocked up at work, which is easy for me because I've got a little lean grill. Omelette there, really easy, delicious meals for me to make when I come in from work. Berry porridge, make that most mornings. Steak and wedges one night a week, and really nice snack there, some protein, apple slices on rice cakes. So protein, I'm going to be making sure that I take in about 1.5 to 2 grams per kilo each day. So that's about 140 to 190 grams a day. So that's probably a bit more than what most people need, but bear in mind I'm a big lad and I train 5 days a week. Most of my protein is going to come from lean sources like tuna, chicken, turkey, white fish, prawns, and a bit of supplemental protein from whey protein powder. I'll also be including bits of dairy, some high protein grains, some eggs. I'll just be having a lot of variety and I just don't want to eat meat and fish all the time. So as much as I can, I'm going to try and make my food taste nice. I'll use some herbs, spices and a small amount of condiments such as mustard or a bit of low-fat mayonnaise. I just want to make it more enjoyable. And for me, this isn't about deprivation. I want to feel happy whilst I'm losing weight. So the protein that I take in is going to help me to retain muscle whilst I lose weight. Now this is really important because inevitably, whilst you drop calories, unless you're a complete beginner, then you can't lose weight and build more muscle. So the more lean mass that I can hold on to, the less weight I need to lose in order to see those abs popping out. Right, I'll tell you what, think of it this way. A guy who weighs 10 stone and is 10% body fat doesn't really look as lean as a guy who weighs 14 stone at 10% body fat. So if I hold on to a bit of muscle, then that muscle is going to help spread the fat around my body and make me look really, really hot and get all the girls chasing me. So the other cool thing about protein is it helps to elevate my metabolism slightly. Compared to carbohydrates and fat, protein takes a few more calories to digest. This is called the thermal effect of food. And it also it's going to help me feel really full. 50 grams of protein from a chicken breast going to leave me a bit more satisfied than 50 grams from carbohydrates such as pasta, which, if anything, is probably just going to make me more hungry. So let's move on to carbohydrates. Now, personally, I love carbs and I don't subscribe to any low carb diet advice. And if that's what works for you, then fine. But personally, carbs bring a little ray of sunshine into my life. So it's important that I get my carbs from sources which help me to feel satisfied and full. If I choose carbs which are a bit too sugary, I'm just going to be craving more food. So I want to make sure I get carbs which come with plenty of fibre, such as beans or rice, and they're going to help my digestive system to work a lot better. Most of my carbs are going to come from fruits, vegetables, rice, wholemeal bread, oats, quinoa, beans and potatoes. An important point to make is that the way I prepare these foods is going to be important for the effect it has on my weight. For example, a baked potato is going to be better than fried potatoes. Unlike protein, I'm not going to keep a close eye on how many carbs I have a day. For me, it's just going to be a matter of choosing which ones I feel like throughout the day. Also, I'll be making sure that I choose carbs with plenty of nutrients. So I will be having lots of vegetables with most of my meals. So let's move on to fats. So let's bear in mind that all fat is going to be high in calories. I'm going to be watching my intake of exactly how much I eat whilst I get nearer to seeing my abs, but that doesn't mean I'm going to avoid it completely. Healthy fats are really satisfying. They help me perform some really, really important functions in the body, including hormone production, a bit of insulation, not to mention they're essential for heart health, brain health, skin health, and even eye health. It's just really a case of where these fats come from and how much I have. So I'll be getting a variety of different fats from things like monounsaturated fats like olive oil, avocados and various nuts, omega-3s from oily fish, a little bit of saturated fat too from butter or coconut oil. Coconut oil is not magic, by the way, just tastes nice and I like it. And one thing I'll have to make sure of is that I weigh out my fat sources, because a handful of nuts could really tip me over my calorie needs if I'm not careful. Likewise with things like peanut butter and so on. So I'm not going to avoid them, I'm going to enjoy them, but I'm just going to keep a close eye on exactly how much I have and where I get them from. One thing I will mention is that I'll be taking some supplements, but probably not a lot. I like probiotics. They help reduce bloating. Good gut bacteria is also important for weight loss. And I use protein powder just because it's convenient and it tastes nice. Challenges. There's quite a few challenges ahead. A couple I hadn't anticipated. For example, the other day, found myself finishing the kids' plate off, or wanting to, was just about to, and I just had to stop it. I think it was just a bad habit I got myself into. When they've not finished the dinner, I'm just eating the rest of their portions. And also, I think the big thing for me is I really struggle to keep to this on the weekends. A big step was just massively improving the food that I ate. So I think I got into a bit of a weekend mentality of having takeaways, way too much beer, and so-called treats, chocolates and so on. So I've got the food bang on at the weekends. I've probably still got to watch how much alcohol I have. I do enjoy a couple of beers on a Saturday evening. So I know what I'm up against here. I'm prepared. Keep watching these videos if you want to see my progress. If you've got any questions, please comment on this video and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And if you think you know anyone who'd benefit from this video, then please share. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for sharing it if you do share it. And I'll promise I'll get back to you, and I can't wait to show you the progress. as soon as I've finished this. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching.